But now, guess where we're headed, Big Perk?
Take me to the dark.
We are headed to the dark side. The Memphis Grizzlies, they are on the clock. And if we're talking about Memphis, we got to talk about Ja Morant. Obviously, he wasn't able to finish out the playoffs with the Memphis Grizzlies. He had a knee injury. But, Perk, this is your group, the young fellows that you have pegged to make noise in the Western Conference.
Absolutely. And it starts with this young man right here. Superstar written all over him. He is the culture. He is the foundation. Other people follow. And you know what? The Memphis Grizzlies has not missed in the draft over the last 4 or 5 years, to be honest with you. And I don't expect for them to miss tonight.
Well,
I really don't.
I hate to break it to you, though. This pick is not going to Memphis. It's on the move, as our Adrian Wojnarowski reported. This is the Grizzlies-Timberwolves trade. So this pick, once again, the Grizzlies will select, but it will be on the move per our Adrian Wojnarowski. Jay, who are we still keeping our eye on here?
Well, some of the players we've talked about. Washington from Kentucky is still on the board. E.J. Liddell, Kennedy Chandler of Tennessee, an undersized point guard that defends very well and really good in pick and rolls. We mentioned Blake Wesley, Marjon Beauchamp from the G League. You know, it'd be interesting. Walker Kessler from Auburn, the best shot blocker in this draft, is also still available. Best
shot blocker in this draft. Interesting. All right, well, let's take a look and see who is going to be picked by Memphis on their way to Minnesota. Here is NBA Commissioner Adam Silver once again.
With the 22nd pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Walker Kessler from Auburn University.
So for the first time in the common draft era, Auburn has had multiple players selected in the first round. Walker Kessler started his career at North Carolina. His father, Chad, actually played at Georgia, was a 5th-round pick in the '87 NBA draft. He was ranked the #1 player in the state of Georgia by ESPN. He's the first player in Auburn history to receive SEC Defensive Player of the Year honors. And now his moment as he shares a hugs with his representation. What exactly are they getting, Jay?
Well, they're getting the best shot blocker in the draft. He had 2 triple-doubles this last season, and it's because of having double-digit blocks in each one of those games. You know, he averages 6.5 blocks per 36 minutes.
Wow.
That's really remarkable. So, and he's a tremendous lob threat. You know, he can set a screen and then roll to the basket, short roll, but you can throw it right up to him, and he goes as high as he needs to get it. You know, he only shot 20% from 3, but he does have a good stroke, and I think he's going to be able to be a reliable shooter from the perimeter in time, because he's still a young player. This is his first year really playing gigantic minutes. But the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, the Naismith National Defensive Player of the Year, he was just a terror around the basket that covered up the rim from 12 feet and in.
Well, and then this is his handshake, his moment with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. I mean, seriously.
Talented young player. Is he a guy that could have gone back and dominated in college? Yes. But, you know, when you look at what even a guy like Keegan Murray, you know, averaged 7 points a game year before last, and last year he comes in and averages 24, you're going to see a jump. It's going to take Branham a little while, especially physically. He's not NBA ready today, but he's going to be NBA ready pretty darn soon. He's really, really talented in a league where wings that can shoot it and drive it and finish and defend are in high demand. He fits the suit.
Absolutely. Well, on the clock now are the Denver Nuggets. And they had a little bit of an interesting year, Kendrick, because Nikola Jokic, I mean, put this team on his back without Michael Porter Jr., who was coming back from injury, without Jamal Murray, who was also experiencing injury. We saw him become the MVP of the league for the 2nd time. How do you see them faring next season, assuming that they get healthy?
You know what? They're going to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Just remember, you know, when Jokic and Murray are at their best, and Murray tends to turn it on when it matters the most. I call him a postseason player. You know, he kind of coasts in the regular season, but when it matters the most, him and Jokic really become one of the better duos in the league. And we already know Michael Porter Jr., the sky is the limit for this kid. He's a walking bucket. He's getting better defensively. And we all know that Coach Michael Malone is going to hold guys accountable and get the best out of his play.
Well, speaking of Coach Michael Malone, let's take a look at Denver's timeline here, because Nikola Jokic, I love that the team traveled to Serbia to hand deliver. Get this, actually, they had to carry on the MVP trophy because they were afraid of checking it because they didn't want to lose it. And they got stopped because it looks like a kind of like a big glass, you know.
Somebody stopped?
Yeah, they had to stop them. So obviously they were eliminated in the West in the first round. We mentioned Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., they missed the season. Yeah, they had to stop them. You can't have a big glass ball going through TSA. They put it in the PR guy's bag because they're okay with stopping him.
I'm pretty sure TSA workers know about the game of basketball and know what the
they were trying to surprise Nikola Jokic, you know.
But they should have put it up there with the power.
So who are we looking at? We have best fit, we have best available. What do you think, Jay?
Well, the next on the list is Ty Washington of Kentucky, another Buckeye, E.J. Liddell of Ohio State. We mentioned Jaden Hardy, Kennedy Chandler, Marjon Beauchamp from the G League Ignite, and then Blake Wesley of Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Well, the pick is in. Let's see who is headed to join the two-time MVP in the Mile High City.
We have a trade to announce. The New York Knicks trade the draft rights to Ousmane Dieng, the 11th pick, to the Oklahoma City Thunder for 3 conditional first-round picks. And with the 21st pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Christian Braun from the University of Kansas.
I love this, when young men are in the stands and they make their way down for their big moment. And there he is, Christian Braun, out of Kansas. That trade that the commissioner announced, our Adrian Wojnarowski reported earlier. But right now, this is Christian Braun's moment. Why do you love him?
Because he fits that system. He's excellent moving without the ball. He's a good floor spacer, and the way that the Denver Nuggets run their offense through Jokic, you need players like Christian Braun.
Yeah, he's a two-way player. You know, he defends at a high level. He can score. He rebounds. He's a good passer. He can put it on the deck. He's not a knockdown shooter. He's more of a streaky shooter, but he'll stick his nose in there. He averaged 6.5 rebounds, which almost 2 of those coming on the offensive end, so he'll crash it from the perimeter. I would say that he's not spectacular in any one area. He doesn't have an elite NBA skill, but he's solid in every area.
I love that.
And he doesn't have great length. You know, he's more in a box, but you know, he's just proven that he's a really good, solid basketball player.
Well, and Michael Malone, he likes those solid basketball players. That's his new coach. And take a look. He had a special visitor in the stands. His coach, Bill Self, giving him a hug.
That was one of them hugs like, I'm happy for you, but you sure make the right choice.
Well, I mean, you want to keep great players